Hi, Casey. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. It's very nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much, and thank you for the invite.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here. Casey, just to start things off, can you share a little bit about yourself and tell me about your carnivore journey? How did it all start?
Okay, that's a very long story. I hope you are ready for that. So it's basically let me start at the very beginning. When I grew up, my parents were both obese, and of course, I followed in their footsteps. It's like I assume just eating the same things led to the same outcome. There's like a lot of not exactly that much sweets and candy and stuff like that, but it was like mostly pasta and rice and potatoes, and it was like all the starchy vegetables, and we constantly had basically the entire rainbow of all kinds of foods around, from lasagna to breaded chicken, turkey, something like that. Everything was breaded and fried in oil and stuff like that. So at very early age, my weight started to creep up. Mm. And I think the earliest I really understood that I was like way fatter than the average kid was like when I was in fourth grade. At least that's like when my memory starts setting in, roughly about like, oh, you're different than we are. Before that, I probably that was already the case, but I don't know if the other kids at school just ignored that, or like if it was not severe enough for them to make comments or something. But by the time I was in fourth grade, it started. It was like, oh, you are porky and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so I'm different. Interesting. And that basically continued for the rest of my entire school time. It's like as the years progressed, my weight increased, because like then it was also like basically eating like the guidelines. It's like everything was also then rice, pasta, breaded stuff. They forced more vegetables into me than I would have liked at that time, but at the same time we still had all the other stuff going on too. So there was no weight loss in sight, and at the same time everybody was saying like, you need to lose weight. It's like, yeah, and how am I supposed to do that? It's like, yeah, you gotta run like crazy, right? It's like, just do sports, exercise, never stay still. And I hated sports. I mean, I was overweight. It's like when I had to run around a football field or something like that. It's like I was done, right? Like, that was basically the end of my life at that point, right? It's like, just let me drop dead, and then I'll be done with it. It's like, you can go where the sun don't shine. And so sport and I were always enemies, absolute hardcore enemies. Uh, to the point that I at some point even refused to participate in sports class. So I went there, and at that time I was in boarding school, and I was like, yeah, I'm present, but I will sit down here, and you guys run. I watched that crap. And of course, like every time the teachers got angry with me, it's like, oh, I'm gonna throw you out of school and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not running. It's like, you do that yourself. And that sports teacher at that time, he was like a participant at the Olympic Games at some point. So he was like super fit and buff. It's like gymnastics, and then like double flips in the air, and then all that crazy stuff. And he could not understand that somebody would absolutely refuse to even move. Like, and I just I was done with it already. It's like my body started hurting, lower back pain, and then running just made it worse. And so that teacher tried to throw me out of school, But at the same time, other teachers said, like, well, he's not bad at any other grade. And how important is sports compared to mathematics, language, biology, geography, whatever it was. It's like you cannot just exclude him from school just because he's refusing to run. It's like so like the more he tried to get me expelled from school, the more other teachers stepped in and said, like, no, we cannot do that just because of that one thing that's not that important when it comes to education and stuff like that. So I made it through that school somehow, and probably sometimes my parents or especially my mother had to show up and then go like, oh, I'm so sorry, my kid, he's just has his own mind, right? It's like, I don't know what we can do about it. And at the same time, like my father had a job at the embassy, so they were constantly abroad. It's like they lived for 3 years in Bangkok, and then they moved to Czechoslovakia. We've been for 3 years in Africa, 2 years Saudi Arabia. It's like we constantly had that travel going on. And when I was at boarding school, they were in Bangkok at that time. So 3 years Thailand. And I was at boarding school, and when they came back during like some of the holidays, then they had to show up at the principal's office and apologize formally and all that stuff. It was an interesting time for sure. But long story short, they couldn't really throw me out of school, and so I made that through. And then my parents decided we stay at our country. And that they will no longer travel, which then meant that we moved together into the same city. So basically, the family reunited, and that was then the time when I started grade number 9, I think, or something. So 9th grade was okay. Then I did the 10th, and I failed that, and I had to redo that one until I finally passed. And I mean, it was kind of a difficult adjustment because, like, when you were apart from your parents for that long, you don't really see them as an authority figure because, like, who are you to tell me anything, right? It's like, I don't even know you anymore. It's like, just because we see each other 6 weeks per year doesn't make you my parents, right? It's like, that was always kind of like, I've become really rebellious. And at the same time, my weight increased, my health declined. Then the point started where I developed asthma. I developed skin irritation, like little rashes and stuff like that. It was like everything started coming up. Especially, I had massive trouble with like dry skin, dandruff, like, and then like scratching those off, and then everything was red, almost bleeding. It's like it looked horrible. It's like I was like Freddy Krueger's child, right? It's like I couldn't say it in another way. It like really looked like I came out of a war zone sometimes. And then it took also like forever to heal. It's like, in the moment one patch healed, and then the next one popped up here. It's like, and when that was gone, then I had a rash here, like on my neck or something. It just kept going and going. The asthma was not that much of an issue because they just prescribed me like one inhaler. It's like, yeah, every time when you need that, you just take a puff and that's fine. It's like, no, don't worry about it. Forward, I think another 2 years or so, then I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And the doctors were, yeah, that explains why you are overweight. At least that is like the most logical explanation of why I started gaining so much weight, didn't lose anything. It's like, and they put me onto levothyroxine, like a thyroid pill for the hypothyroid. And I've had that pill then for pretty much almost my entire adult life. But at the same time, like the weight got worse and worse. At that point, I must have been already at around 150 kilo. And that was still while I was in school. It's like 9th grade, 10th grade, something like that, 150 kilo. And at the same time, I'm 6'4", so it's like 196 centimeters, so I'm almost 2 meters tall. so it doesn't, or it never looked like me being like a bowling ball, but I've always been like very massive. My gut was huge, and it was like that huge pregnancy belly, if you will, like man boobs, the entire thing. And of course, my back pain got worse and worse and worse. As the more the years went by, the worse it got, because that weight was constantly pushing on me, and every time when I had to walk somewhere, like there was always like pain. And then at some point, I developed high blood pressure. I mean, it was not that crazy. The doctor said it was a little bit high. So we put you onto like one Ramipril, 5 milligrams. It's like one small pill, and you should be fine. And that was okay. It's like that small pill a day plus the levothyroxine. Those were like 2 pills I had to take once a day. Or I'm not sure if I had to take the blood pressure pill twice a day. I think it was once, because it was years ago. And those were just like the beginning issues. It's like at some point you get so sick that you don't even remember what it felt like when you were better, right? It's like that was like really intense at some point. So then I had the high blood pressure pills. I had the levothyroxine. My weight still didn't go down, no matter what I tried. Like slightly changing the diet, and it's like having more, let's say, kidney beans, more corn, something like that. Eating cornflakes in the morning with some low-fat milk. It's like everything that everybody was told. So avoid the high-fat content. It's like, but keep the carbs and the grains and all that. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables. And I never liked the vegetables, but I was okay with fruits. It's like, give me 10 bananas and 10 bananas gone, right? It's like, if you put them in front of me, they were gone. It's like, and that was basically a thing that went on throughout my entire life. Because like, imagine I would get like a block of chocolate or so, 200 grams. That thing is dead, annihilated. If you give me 1,000 gram pack of chocolate, then okay, then we're having 1,000 gram. Fine, right? Like, I can do that. And it just went on and on and on. And at some point, it got, then I had girlfriends, and it's like, despite my weight, I never had issues with the ladies. And it was like, so there was something they saw in me, I never knew why. It was like, why are you with a fat kid? But I appreciate it. It's like, it's nice to have a girlfriend. It's like when I was 15 or so, I had my first girlfriend, lasted 3 years. It was like been like a very nice teenage romance, if you will. Like we were both the same age, and we even moved like into a flat when, just for us, even despite being underage, like we were like 16, 17 maybe or something. Then we already moved in together. And just a small 1-room flat, it's like living life, like pretending to be adult. And of course, we didn't have much money. And at that point, then it was like spaghetti with ketchup 3 times a day. It's like, just make 500 grams of spaghetti each meal. It's like add some ketchup, and then that's our food. If we had like extra money, we could afford like a little bit of Parmesan or something. Or maybe like just sprinkle some oregano onto the ketchup, just to get like the Italiano flavor. And that was us then. She was always super slender. Like she was absolute, maybe 55 kilo or something by 1.70 m body height. So she was a slender girl, and I was like that massive animal, right? And as the years went by, it's like I kind of maintained that weight. So I was always at around 150, and at that point it stabilized. It's like, at least I'm not getting any worse. But at the same time, the back pain got worse. The eczema got worse, or psoriasis or whatever it's called, or whatever it might have been. And that also like. Speaking of skin issues, like what even happened before I developed a condition called hidradenitis suppurativa, which means basically your body forms abscesses. But it's basically it works like when you have your hair follicles, then where the root in the skin is, then that thing starts to clog up, and then it kind of builds like little pimples, and that kind of pus gets inflamed, and therefore then the body sends like the white blood cells, and then it grows and grows and grows to abscesses. And I think the biggest abscess I ever had was about this size. It's like a potato or a lemon or whatever you want to call it. Could be a kiwi, It's like it was literally like usually like in my thigh area, my groin area. Like that was always where I had that issue. So the skin issues just kept progressing. So the rashes on my head and on my arms, those were like a separate thing. I had to deal with the more painful one. It's like this was kind of inconvenient, but not as like life altering as the other ones whenever I had a flare up. At that point, it didn't happen too much yet. I maybe gotten one of those massive abscesses probably every 4 months or something, maybe every 5 months. And but at the same time, I got a lot of small ones. It was like 1 centimeter or so, and then it hurt for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then at some point they finally drained, and the issue was gone until the next one came. But over the years, that got worse and worse, of course, because why wouldn't it, right? As diseases are, usually they like to progress. And of course, my girlfriend and I broke up, and then I had like the next girlfriend, and that was like a really bad breakup. I added like depression to my list, and then they put me on. I think the medication was called Trevilor. And that was very interesting because I remember that I was sitting like in front of one of those digital alarm clocks when I took my first pill. And it was like 16:13, and then I sat there. And suddenly it was like 18:19. It's like, where did the time go? And then at the same time, I noticed that I had problems like maintaining erections, reaching orgasm, things like that. I mean, teenager, right? It's like your testosterone is still there. You are in the prime of your sexual health, and that medication completely suppressed that. It's like if I had an erection, I could not finish, no matter how hard I tried. So I went back to the doctor and said, like, "Hey, doc, I came to you with one problem, and you gave me a second one. So now I have two. It's like, take those pills away." And then they gave me better pills. It's like, and those had seemingly no side effects. That was okay. But at the same time, I didn't want to stay on like psycho-altering drugs. So that was just like a very short period of time, maybe like a year. I had to deal with that, and then the issue was pretty much gone. At some point, I just felt better, and then started to just quit the pills, and everything stabilized regardless. So there was no like going back into a deep depression or anything like that. No more suicidal thoughts. I mean, at some point, they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder with suicidal tendencies. Then I was, of course, I was also cutting myself, with razor blades and all that crap. Never deep, it's like just basically screaming for attention. It's just like making patterns around my wrist. It's like, and then I always had to bandage them. So every time I was basically like bandaged like a boxer. It's like both sides, that kind of stuff. But like once I quit those pills, I mean the medication helped at that time. I must say, like I had never had like that level of extreme suicidal thoughts anymore the moment I started taking those. But at the same time, I always felt like my cognitive and mental clarity was dulled down, and I felt very numb. It's like I didn't really feel joy, but I also didn't feel sadness. And when something good happened, it was kind of like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is, right? So once those pills were history, then everything kind of normalized, and life moved on for another few years. And then I moved cities, like went away from my parents, moved in with another girlfriend. We stayed together for 7 years. And that was then the time when I didn't necessarily get more weight on my body, but at the same time I developed this extreme fatigue. It's like I barely could walk to the mailbox anymore to get letters or anything. And that was just like what was that, 50 steps or something? It's like I was like, oh my god, it's like sweating and back pain. It's like just walking to the mailbox was a chore. Okay, then after this, the 7 years, like we moved cities twice. We did that together. The moving was really difficult for me. It's like carrying heavy boxes, moving boxes, furniture, building everything, coloring the walls, like all that stuff. And that with my weight and health, it was a serious challenge. But at the same time, yeah, it was ours. It's like. Especially like that second time we had like this almost like a little den or like a shed. It had concrete walls, but the floor was wood and the ceiling was wood, and there was like a second story, but it was basically like a small 1-room apartment, just 2 stories high, and the higher one that had like those roofs. So I always had to duck down to even walk there, otherwise I would have constantly hit my head on the ceiling. But we loved it, It's like it was our little sacred place, our little heaven, and that was pretty okay until at some point the relationship deteriorated, and we decided to part ways. And like she started a career, I think in the kindergarten or something it was, and I moved back into the city where my parents lived. But we didn't really move in together because I already had the next girlfriend ready. As I said, like I never had an issue with the ladies. It was like at some point, I just opened Facebook at that time. It's like, hey, sweetheart, remember me? Or actually, no. In this case, like she contacted me and was like, hey, do you remember me? It was like probably 12 years ago. It's like, no, I don't have an idea who you are. But cool, let's talk, right? It's like nice to catch up again. And throughout that conversation, we figured out very fast that we had a lot in common. Especially now that we've grown older and more mature, and that it was like since my current relationship was falling apart anyway, and we kind of decided to part ways, that it was just like, then how about you just move in with me? It's like I have an empty room. It's like my roommate just moved out, so if you want it, it's yours. And it's like, okay, let's do that. Let's figure out how to get all my stuff, and we will just move and then from one girl to another. Like literally, there was not a single day of me being single, aside from the time when I still had to stay with my old girlfriend, which she was very generous, and despite being apart, she let me live there until the moving process was done. So she didn't kick me out in anger, so we kind of left in good terms. It was just like we both knew that it wouldn't be good for us to stay together, and let's just move on with our lives and figure out what makes us happy. It's like, and I will support you for as long as you need that. And that was really cool. So then, of course, new girlfriend, like new interests, and we had a lot of, let's call it, exercise. And I started like gaining strength back. It's like my back pain didn't necessarily like improve, but at the same time, my endurance increased. And I was the one who had to go to the supermarket because, like, that girlfriend at that time was also extremely overweight. So it was like 2 massive people coming together. It was like together in one elevator, and you think, like, is that enough for like the maximum weight? Let's be careful. Let's not jump up and down or anything. It was like, do not tempt fate. We knew what we were up against. It's like I understood her health problems, she understood mine, because like we were kind of in the same boat. which was kind of like a weird way to bond over. It's like if the thing you most can bond over is understanding each other's illnesses, it's like, and just connecting in that way with understanding and support and whatnot. It feels very strange to me looking back now, but at that time it was like, yay, finally somebody who gets it, obviously, it's like, and then, like, we have other things in common too, it's like perfect relationship. But it also didn't last very long. I met my current wife about a year later, and that was also like an online thing. It's like we met online. I never had intentions to get a girlfriend or anything because I had one, right? So like, I didn't need a one. But at the same time, things went into a direction where it went like, this is so crazy. It's like, it's almost like we're soulmates. We should meet at some point. It was like she lived overseas, like a 13-hour flight or something. And at some point, like we were like, yeah, then how about let's be together online while you're together, like with your other girlfriend in real time. And of course everybody agreed. So it was like, let's go polyamorous. So I would have two girlfriends, one basically online, and then we would just like spend time together, and then the other one like living with me basically in that flat, or I was living in her flat, and having the physical benefits and stuff like that. So then at that point, when the other relationship with my or the first girlfriend in that trio scenario, like when we decided to part ways, or at least like I decided to part ways because I decided to move abroad and be like get married to that other woman. And we did that. I mean, the original plan was basically that we both get married so that she could then just join us as a trio. But the political issues in my country came up, and I said that's so dangerous. I don't want to like put my wife into that potential danger. I cannot justify that, and my other girlfriend didn't understand that. It was like she was kind of like completely opposite in her attitude towards the situation that was going on, and that kind of caused a rift between us. So we had to decide this is not working. It's like we are so like a plus and minus, it's like we don't attract each other. We just push each other away because it's we don't get common ground whatsoever in that topic, and that's quite an important topic. Like when you have to consider things like that, when it comes to the safety of the person you love and stuff like that. And I said, like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like, I am married now. I have responsibilities, and like, no matter what that looks like. And my wife was willing to give up her entire life in her country, and move to ours. But now that the political situation is that bad, then it will be me who makes that sacrifice. It doesn't matter who of us does that. So I basically sold everything that I could like make to money, and basically left the rest with my other girlfriend and say, like, you can have whatever you want, whatever you don't want, throw it away. I don't care. I packed 2 suitcases, moved abroad, and never looked back. Well, then now I was abroad. I moved to Asia. And of course, it was a very humid climate. And that was something my body didn't like at all. So the flare-ups with the abscesses from the hidradenitis suppurativa, the HS, they just kept increasing and increasing. It was like I had more and more of those. Constant sweating, it's like it makes you then prone to even more inflammation, and stuff like that. So the abscesses came more frequently. And at that time, like when I moved, I was still at about 150 kilo. And over the years, that got worse and worse. I blew up. It's like 250 kilo, 150 kilo. Sorry, 250 would be extreme. 150, then 160, then 170, 180, 190, 200, and then 207 at my max. That was extremely brutal. So, but I'm going back a little. So at some point, you can imagine that, like, I probably at that time I weighed like 170, 175 kilograms. And as one does, we were like, we need to go to the supermarket shopping for groceries and stuff like that. Okay, let's do that. It was just downstairs, just a few steps like from a house away. And we moved, like we went there and moved around between the aisles, like packed everything in. Of course, unhealthy stuff. It's like sweets here and then carbs there. There we have donuts. We have some bread. Whatever we could find. I mean, if I look back now, all the food that I threw into my cart is like, nowadays I would not choose a single one of those items. Like, not a single one. Maybe aside from some cold cut or something. It's like if they had a salami on sale or something. It's like sliced salami. Yeah, sure, mine. Salty, fatty, give me. But everything else, it was just absolutely horrendous. I mean, tasty, it's like it was flavors. And wife was a good cook, and I could basically have whatever I wanted. It's like, oh, what do you want to eat tomorrow? It's like, yeah, come on, make 3 pizzas. Cool, let's do that. I'm talking thin crust. It's like not like those massive American style ones. I'm talking about those really flat ones, like Italian. I always liked the thin crust. I wanted to have it crispy, crunchy, stuff like that. Of course, we had spaghetti, sometimes spaghetti bolognese, so we would like ground beef or ground pork. We did that. We made lasagna. We made all kinds of things. I've always liked meat. Could be like a piece of pork chopped or something. Another day it could be just ham on bread or something. But meat, it's like whatever kind of meat, it kind of belonged into my diet. Alongside everything else, including many, many sweets. But so we were then in the supermarket, and I've already had to lean onto that shopping cart because like walking was tough. My back pain, of course, never got better. So at some point I was kind of pushing that cart despite leaning on it, and I said, darling, I think I need to step outside and sit down on the stairs in front of that supermarket. It's like I cannot stand anymore. I feel dizzy. I feel like my body is kind of responding in a way that I might faint if I don't sit down now. And then she was like, "Yeah, I will finish the shopping tour, and you wait outside for me, and then we go back home because it's just like a 2-minute walk, right?" So I was sitting there completely in sweat. It's like I was literally like shaking. And said and done, it was like, and that same thing happened basically every single time when we went grocery shopping for like a couple of times. Like we did that maybe 4 or 5, 6 times. Each time I was at the supermarket, when starting, it's like, yeah, cool, I'm fine. It's like let's push the shopping cart. I'm good. And so by the time we were halfway through, it's like, oh damn, I need to sit down again. It's like I cannot stand anymore, and every time the same thing. Of course, with the heat and humidity, it was like 35 degrees and stuff, and then 98% humidity. It's like imagine Florida or something. It's like that kind of climate, especially during the summer, and I absolutely hated it. It's like, give me permafrost. It's like permafrost would sound absolutely lovely right now, right? And at some point, my wife then was like, you know what? Let's go to the doctor. We have a clinic right next door too. It's not it's a public clinic, but it's not expensive. Let's just have you checked up. And then we walked into that clinic probably the next day or so, and they have those blood pressure machines, it's like where you have to kind of push your arm into like one of those holes. And of course, like in Asia, everything is much smaller than what I was. It's like, and then pushing my arm, and I was like, push, a little more, It's like, and then it was already squeezed to the max, It's like, and then it started pumping, and my blood pressure was like 200 over 110 or something, like 230 over 110. It was crazy. And to this day, I don't know if that was because that machine was too small for me, or like if my blood pressure really was that extreme high. But of course, like the doctor saw that, like once you're done, that thing prints out like a little piece of paper with the numbers, and then you give that to your doctor, and it goes like, "Oh, whoa, you need blood pressure medication." It's like, I am on blood pressure medication. I have those 5 milligrams here of that Ramipril stuff, and he was like, "No, we need to put you on like at least 2 more," and so that started. And then I got like 2 more blood pressure pills, and by then back and forth, like come back like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later. Let's check like what that medication does. It's like if it works the way it's intended, if it's enough, if we need to adjust the dose. And it was not enough. Like that thing was still basically screaming high blood pressure. So we added a third pill. And at that point, then I was on amlodipine, losartan, potassium, and what was the third? Indapamide. Indapamide it was. So those 3. And with that third dose, then the blood pressure was kind of like what they wanted to see. But at the same time, of course, you need to lose weight. Asthma was still there. And it was so interesting, especially with my HS, it's like hidradenitis suppurativa. It's also known as acne inversa, but it's very like uncommon to call it that. And I started to test my doctors, like because like in that public health system, you can imagine that like you have like 10 doors. Behind every door is a doctor, and you pull a number, and then like at some point on the display it blinks up, and you have to go into the door, and basically you see a new doctor each time. And I always felt like these doctors are not listening to me. It's like no matter what I tell them, it's like they don't care. So I started to test them and said like, yeah, I was diagnosed with AI. In hopes that at least one doctor would ask like, hey, what is that? What is AI? Not a single one even asked. And that was each time like I knew, okay, you are worthless. It's like I don't even need to bother telling you anything about my HS because you will not be able to help me. It's like you don't even care about prior diagnoses and stuff like that. I had an A1C of 5.7 at some point, and nobody said anything. It's like, no, it's fine. You're in a good range. And then at the same time, I mean, of course, like continuing to eat the way we ate, it started, especially during the summertime. Like winter, I kind of felt kind of comfortable, like 20 degrees Celsius or something. During the winter, maybe goes down to 15 or so. Nice, a nice breeze. Walking was easier. But then when it got like 30 degrees and humidity or so, then I started that my feet started to just blow up. Like so much water retention. It's like edema. In the worst possible way. So you can imagine that like you as if you pump water into your foot until it's like full like a balloon, and when you lean forward and like the foot does that bend, you are scared that the skin just breaks at some point and the water flows out. Like that's what it felt. It's like this kind of pain. It's like there's so much tension. It's like just moving your feet. It almost like feels like a little more, and the skin just makes poof, done, right? And of course, that never happened. Lucky me. But of course, back to the doctor, and then we need like a diuretic or something like that to get rid of that water retention. And they put me on oxybutynine, and didn't help. and also at the same time, I think that oxybutynin was actually for urinary urgency, because like my gut got bigger and bigger, and like when sitting down, it kind of pressed onto my bladder, so I had to pee all the time. It's like every 10 minutes, like, oh, I gotta go again. So they gave me that oxybutynin pill for that, and I'm not sure if one of those 3 blood pressure medications was adjusted to also deal with the edema. I think that was a combination. Could have been the indapamide or the amlodipine. Not sure which one of those two, but I think it was something like that. It's been already a few years too. So I would basically my amount of medications grew and grew. Like you need those in the morning, those during the lunchtime. Then for the evening, you need that, and before you go to sleep, you have your 4th load of toxic pills, right? And of course, nothing got better, and I got worse and worse and worse. And it got to the point. Then we reached the era of COVID. And we kind of were able to get around that virus until 2021 or something like that. So we didn't contract COVID for 2019, 2020 was fine. 2021, we got it. But at the same time, I had one of those massive HS flare-ups. So I was basically in bed, had like an abscess the size of my golf ball right on my bum. And I had COVID, and I was like, I don't even care about COVID, because that thing hurts way more. It's like, who cares about that little bit of fever? And I was like, darling, get me the bottle of Sambuca. And I just downed that entire thing, including painkillers. It was so painful that I said, I don't care. It's like, if I die from that, cool. Like, I'm fine with that. It's like, I'm so done. It's like, I just need to numb that pain. Give me painkillers, give me alcohol. I take them together. I know it's dangerous. I don't care. I just need to get through those days. And so I did, until that thing finally opened, and I basically woke up in a pool of blood and pus and all that. It was like, it was gross. And it was like my wife sleeping next to me. It's like, darling, wake up. I'm sorry, but we need to change the sheet. And I was like, I just made a mess out of myself. And she was an absolute angel. It's like, she never complained. It's like, oh, good, finally it's gone. How are you doing? The pressure should be much better now, right? Like, now that damn thing is open, at least you can sit down again in 2 or 3 days. So she always took that like with a lot of patience and encouragement, and she never complained about anything in that regard. Like, she cleaned the wound, she patched me up, so she used like disinfection like pads and stuff like that. Like, always kept me basically in somewhat good shape. It got so worse, in fact, in terms of my overall fitness, that she had to go with me into the bathroom and basically shower me. Like, I had to basically sit down on the toilet. I was able to wash my upper body and my front, but then I had to stand up, bend over, hold on to the toilet seat while she washed my entire back. And like, even then, she never complained. And at some point, I think that was like a few years before that there was this one incident where I had where I was still able to shower by myself, but then at some point I had like a stinging back pain, like right in the middle of the shower. It was like, just basically done cleaning, almost ready to grab my towel, and it was like almost like it shot into my kidney or something. It literally felt like something happened there. And I literally had to yell for help. Like, she had to come in. And of course, my wife is also just like a tiny 50-kilo person. It's like, how is she supposed to carry me? It's like she hooked me under, and then I had to like hold on to furniture and just get me to the bed, to lay me down, because I was literally almost falling over because I was in so much pain. And it was absolutely crazy. And then I said to her, darling, you know what? call the ambulance. I need to go to the hospital. Like this feels like in a way that that's not normal anymore. And so she did. So she called the ambulance, and of course, as everything with Asia, everything is too small. And she already said like, hey, my husband is like 200 kilo or something, whatever, or 190 or whatever. At that point, I was, and then they had to order like a specific ambulance with a stretcher that is like stable and long enough, because like also like my body height, it's like with almost 2 meters plus 190 kilo or whatever the number was at that time. Like they kind of had to bring that like from whatever district, because they only had one of those for those very special needs, And then the paramedics came and thought like, yeah, like based on the location you're describing, or so that could be like a kidney stone or something, like that would explain the pain. Let's get you to the hospital. And then they gave me some painkillers, like injected into the muscle, into my shoulder. And didn't really do much, but at the same time, then I was already in the hospital bed, and I didn't have to walk anywhere because they just like pushed me to wherever I had to be, including X-ray. We had 2 X-rays at like on the same day, and then they kept me overnight and said like for observation, and the X-ray came back fine. Like there is nothing bad to see. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, we could keep you here for like another week to observe you. And I said, like, if you're not even doing anything and just giving me painkillers, I can do that at home too. And I really don't want to like be in the hospital, because it was like one room with 10 old men. It's like 10 elderly patients or so, and I was then the only one in my 30s. And was like, I cannot sleep. They're all snoring. It's like I cannot even shut my eyes. And then the damn nurse comes in every like 1 hour or 1.5 hours for blood pressure taking. Like every time when I'm about to doze off, it's like then I get the blood pressure thing. And then when when the head nurse comes, it's like, why are you not asleep? It's like, how? Like, how am I supposed to do that? Please explain that to me. Give me something that I can sleep. It's like, and don't make the nurses wake me up all the time. and of course, like the hospital food, absolutely atrocious. So usually my wife then brought me some other stuff, it's like bread and cold cut, maybe peanut butter, whatever it was, it's like at least that one time when she came, then the next morning. And then I decided, what, I was like, I can take these pills at home. I know I'm still basically barely able to walk anymore. Let's buy crutches. We can buy them in the hospital, buy those crutches. And the doctors were supposed to give me the medication, like the entire, which was really interesting, because that included opioids like tramadol. We had diclofenac, we had pantoprazole to protect the gut lining because of the diclofenac. And of course paracetamol and stuff like that. So it was like 4 different ones, and they gave me a bag. It's like it was full of pills. It's like hundreds. It's like, yeah, take those. Like go home and take as needed. It's like I think only the opioids I was not allowed to take more than twice a day because of the addictive nature. Okay, so I went back home, basically just dropped on the bed. Of course, had to walk with the crutches then, which was helpful, right? Because now I had something to stabilize myself, because that back pain was still like absolutely insane. And then my wife had to bring food to the bed because I was not able to stand up. Like walking into the bathroom was already like a brutal challenge. And like sitting down on the toilet and then standing up, it's like those moments is like, oh my God, my back hurts so much. And I really thought like that there must be something wrong with my kidney or so, because it was like literally like in that area, right? And then it took maybe like 2 weeks or so, and then suddenly the pain started going away. Like it gradually got better. And at that point, I still had like that regular back pain to deal with. And I noticed like how much easier it was to walk around with crutches, at least when going out, but it was very impractical at home. So we decided, there's a medical supply store somewhere close to us, and let's just buy a cane. So that I have the cane for at home, and the crutches for going out, like when we have to walk like further distances. Let's say walking 5 minutes to the bus stop, or so. That's where the crutches come into play. So so basically, I had my cane then for the inside the flat, and the crutches for going out, and that was very helpful. At least I was able to get around. And but at the same time, it's like my asthma was still there. Like I got like one abscess after another, especially during the summer. The edema, it was like even walking around is like I was so fat at that point that I could wear nothing else than those jogging pants, and like those oversized jogging pants. We bought like 7XL t-shirts, so then 7XL US size, by the way, is like those were 10s, right? It's like absolutely insane. When we had to buy like Asian size, I had to go up to 13XL. It was absolutely like embarrassing too. It was like I looked horrible because of the edema. I had to wear either like slippers or some Crocs or something. Like it looked terrible. I was absolutely. I mean, there was nothing dignified about it anymore. It was like I had to go like to the immigration department in jogging pants, right, and stuff like that, because nothing else fit me. Like when I sat down in the bus, I basically you needed like 2 seats because like I was so wide. My wife was able to sit next to me, because she was like 50 kilo, but like that was like then both seats were maxed out like completely. It was like it got tight. It was similar to airplanes, it's like where you sit there and then you're like, okay, wonderful. How am I supposed to do that for 13 hours? Great. And then needing belt extensions and all that, it's like you've been through it, been there, done that. And I really don't know how I even managed to have any good outlook in life anymore, because at the same time then things got so worse that I developed erectile dysfunction. So we were in our 30s, and it's like I got married when I was 33. She was like a little bit younger than I was, so we were basically in the prime of our adulthood. It's like, and I was so severe dealing with erectile dysfunction that we maybe got intimate twice a year, and even then I failed. I could not like finish. Like she was able to have her fun. It's like she. At least she got satisfied, but I was then like, yeah, I'm going to take care of myself later if I can. Like that doesn't even make sense to try anymore because it doesn't work. It's like the only thing that works is basically my pain. Like if I want to use that thing, I can use it to pee, and it's good for nothing else. It was literally that severe, and I'm so sorry that I ruined like years of her life like that. It's like instead of having a normal, healthy sexuality as a freshly married couple, it's like we were in love. We wanted to have like a great time together. We wanted to look forward into a future together. It's like, and then I was falling apart left and right. And the thing is, like, it got worse and worse. And at some point, we went to the doctor and said, like, you know what? It's nothing nothing gets better. Can you please adjust the pills? Maybe take me off of some of those. Like with all the pills I'm taking every single day, nothing helps. It's like I'm just taking those, and I don't even know why. Because like I don't feel any better. If anything, I feel worse. And the doctors were like, no, you need to keep those. It's like every single pill is important. And that was the point when I literally reached like the end of my positive outlook. I was like, you know what? If we keep going like that, like if things progress like that, I will not live in 5 years. I will be dead. I feel that. Like I know that I'm approaching that end. Like let it be it a heart attack or some organ failure or whatever it is, a stroke, whatever it may be. Is like I can promise you that I will be dead in 5 years if nothing changes. And then my wife was searching the internet. I mean, she did that over and over anyway, right? It's like she constantly tried to find something that helped, getting me to a massage therapist and stuff like that. We tried that. Felt nice at the moment, but didn't really fix much aside from like making it better while I was laying on that bench and getting that massage. She massaged me too, it's like especially like my feet, it's like to kind of try to massage some of that water out of my feet to make them at least like a little more comfortable. And I was literally like, there is no hope. And then at some point, my wife said like, how about we try keto? And like you just need to cut the carbs. And I didn't even know what a carb was. It's like, yeah, sounds weird. It's like, let's not do that. Like, what even is a carb? I don't get it. And she was like, yeah, okay. It's like I cannot force you to do anything anyway because like you're stubborn, It's like, and I mean, because I've already endured so much, it's like I was not taking crap from anyone. It's like if I didn't want to do anything, I said no. Rebellious nature, it's like as in school, like I was done. I was not willing to listen to anything and anyone. But at some point, the weeks went by, and she was like, maybe you should really look into that keto thing. It's like maybe just look at a few videos. And at some point, like she said, it's like if you die on me in 5 years, I will kill you. It's like, okay. Wife has spoken. I need to do research. So I went into YouTube University and discovered, I think it was first Dr. Berg and Dr. Sten Ekberg, who were basically advocating for the keto diet because I was literally looking for keto. And so then like my main focus was always weight loss. But all like the other benefits that sounded kind of interesting, it's like more energy, better sleep, alongside weight loss, and I was like, okay, that's like if that works, I mean, I don't believe a single thing. It's like whatever I tried in my life, it never worked. It's like I don't believe it, but like happy wife, happy life. So just to get her to shut up, I will do it. It's like, yeah, get the spinach, get some meat, get some cheese, and I was like, let's see carb count, like calorie counting app, and let's just like ignore the calories and then look at like that I don't exceed my 20 grams of carbs per day. Like that was the main thing. So just to kind of ensure that we stay within the ketogenic, what is it called, like medical keto or something, like if you're doing the 20 grams. So it's kind of like prescription strength, right? The prescription strength of keto. And then I did that, and it's like I was miserable. I hated spinach and and all that stuff. The only redeeming quality was like when we had the tuna on there and some sheep's cheese or something. Like those were the amazing things. Like, oh, yummy. And then like salad dressing and all homemade. It's like real whole foods and as one does when doing keto. And then at some point, I think we were 3 days into that, and I woke up one like at that morning, 3 days into keto, and I walked from the bed to my chair. It was like one of those massive leather chairs. We extra had that made for me because like it had to be big enough. We extra made it bigger because we kind of assumed I would probably even grow wider. So to already accommodate for that in the future, let's make it a little bit wider so that if you get wider, then you will still have the chair to to use. But I basically walked from the bed to the chair, and my wife was like, "Holy fuck!" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "You didn't use your cane." It's like, "Oh, interesting." I mean, it was just 10 steps or so from the bed to the chair, right? But even for that, I always needed the cane. And then at some point, I just got out of bed and moved to my chair, sat down, and was like, she was like, "Holy fuck!" You know, I was like, "What?" It's like, this is crazy. We need to keep doing this. And even I was like, yeah, we should keep doing that. That looks absolutely interesting. Or promising, you know. It's like, that's already an interesting change, even though I was not able to stand or walk for long or so, but at least I could walk those few steps to the bathroom now without needing like a walking aid or anything. Cool, let's do that. So we kept going then for another few weeks, and I went back to the doctor. We had a blood test scheduled, and then like the A1C was down to 5.2 from 5.7. And I already heard about, I probably saw videos by Dr. Canberry at that point about keto, because like I was then constantly looking like, how is that possible? You know, it's like, then you start watching more videos about keto, you know, it's like whatever you could find is like, how does keto influence weight loss? How does it influence like diabetes? How does it influence high blood pressure? You know, it's like all those miracle things that happen. So the A1C was down. And then I stepped onto the scale, and I've already like almost fell over, because like I had probably lost like 20 kilo or something like that in just a month. So of course, all water weight. There was no fat loss yet or anything. It was like, this is absolutely insane. You know, it's like, how can like those numbers improve? My blood pressure got better. It's like my blood pressure got so low that I had to quit all those blood pressure medications cold turkey, because I was like at 100 over 50 or something. It's like, then I felt dizzy. It's like, I cannot take something that makes that blood pressure even lower, because like, whoa, just wow. Absolutely incredible. But at the same time, I struggled, because as I said, I hated the leafy greens. And it's like, I started like maybe let's try different kind of vegetables. Let's maybe cook some more cucumbers, or let's cut some cucumbers into that. It's like, I didn't like that either. Then how about we try some lettuce, some other leafy greens, you know, it's like something else than spinach. You know, I didn't like much of it. As I said, like all of that, the only thing that really interested me was the tuna and the sheep's cheese, or goat cheese, or whatever we had like at that point. Like those were the delicious things, and everything else was just disgusting, including the salad dressing. But I ate it, you know, it's like, because I saw the benefits, and but then at some point I came across a video by Dr. Canberry. God bless this man. And he was like, you know what? You could go keto, or you just like ignore all that and only stick to the meat, like beef, butter, bacon, eggs. And I was like, now we're talking. you nutcase. It's like, of course I would die, you know. It's like, but on the other hand, are you serious though? And then like I got more like carnivore videos suggested. That was in 2022. So we started keto in 2022 in April, and by May I decided, you know what? If I have to die anyway, at least I will die with bacon in my belly, and I will do that. I will go carnivore. I will have my meat. I will have my bacon. I will like whatever we can do to make that. Like most of the time, I mean, we always had financial struggles, so it had to be like cheap meat, you know, like if something was on sale, otherwise cold cut, you know, like sliced sausages. You know, sometimes my wife brought like a similar to a salami, what that, like maybe 40 centimeter long or so, and about that thick, and then you just like starting slices, you know, like put but those were kind of high in carbs. Like they were 50 grams of carbs per one of those sausages. So I was sitting there weighing that thing is like, yeah, I can have like 3 grams more, like, and then cutting like the slices as thin to reach those extra 3 grams, and just like, yeah, that's 20, that's mine, okay, and that's my food. The same thing with Greek yogurt, and it's like just one spoonful, and it's like, not too much. Like take a little back. To really, I really wanted to hit that target on point, 20 and not 20.1. It had to be 20 or below. But at the same time, it didn't feel that satiating doing that. So then we started doing chicken and stuff like that. Like where you just buying chicken breast and adding like more butter and all that, that kind of thing. And that made it more sustainable, and I was more comfortably able to stay within those 20 gram, because like also if we had like some of the Greek yogurt or something like that, there were carbs in there. Of course, like it might be lower carb, and pretty good fats and stuff like that. And like if you have eggs, then you have like 0.5 gram of carbs per egg. It's like so if you have 10 eggs, you have 5 carbs, which means that you can have way less yogurt or anything. And then you have the meat, it's like and we logged everything, like absolutely religiously. It's like I logged the seasoning. It's like how much pepper did I use? How much of like oregano did I use? Like 0.2 gram. It was like cool. Like we literally logged and tracked everything. And then at that point it started that the rapid weight loss happened, like beyond just the water weight. This was then absolutely miraculous. Because then I stood on one of the scales at the public healthcare, I'm not sure if it was the doctor's office or during the one of the COVID centers. It's like where they also offered just like a weight for patients to step on, like a scale. Just like as a public service, it's like if you want to know your weight, you can step onto there, or do it at the doctor's office. So like both options are free. Just like check your weight, and it's like my weight went down and down and down. It's like and we started like every doctor's visit. I was looking forward to that because like I wanted to know how much I weighed, because like we didn't have a scale that could measure my weight, because as I said, I started at 207 kilo, and that equals 456 pounds. So at my biggest, I was at 456 pounds or 207 kilograms. And every time when I went to the doctor, that number went smaller and smaller. And I was like, yeah, let's go to the doctor again. It's like, I don't care what they have to say, but I want to get to that scale. And because weight loss was always my main thing. And to be honest, to this day, it is. Like I'm still obsessed with like I want to lose the weight, because I still have like a ways to go, and I'm kind of thinking like everything else is a bonus. It's like I started to heal in ways I didn't anticipate at all. Like my asthma suddenly was gone. I still have an asthma spray here, and like I think I needed it last year once. Because like usually, especially before going to sleep or something, I needed that because I was wheezing, and it's like, and when lying down, I was like, and then, oh, okay, now I can sleep. Good. But then that last year, I needed that once, and that was all I needed. It's like this year I didn't need it at all, or was it even the year before that? I don't know, because like by now I'm carnivore. At 1st of May, I know that's also your anniversary, but in my case it was 2022, so I'm approaching 4 years, while you will be 3 years or 2. Okay, cool. Gonna come aboard then. so like that asthma thing was no longer needed. I was off the blood pressure medication. Then the HS got better. It didn't cure. Carnivore didn't cure it yet. I'm say it didn't cure it yet, but it got better. It looks like at this point, like every half a year, I might get like one bigger abscess. Every now and then, I get like a small one, which is almost like a bigger pimple or so. It's like it's nothing serious. It's still there. It's lingering. It's like I can sometimes feel the flare up, and I'm dreading the summer. It's like that's usually when it gets a little worse. But compared to what it was, it's like a walk in the park. And it's like I can absolutely manage that, and not that much of a problem. The edema completely went away. It's like everything was fine. It was absolutely incredible. Like I could buy shoes, like I could buy normal shoes. It's like, oh my God, I don't have to wear the Crocs anymore. It's like they literally fell off my feet. It's like because like we had to buy them so big. And then at some point, like my feet shrank because the water was gone, and then I could not walk in the Crocs anymore because they always flew off my feet every time when I tried to walk too fast. And I was like, oh my God, like throw that crap out. It's like toss them in the garbage. I don't want them anymore anyway. They look ugly. I want to dress better, It's like now that I've lost all that weight, it's like give me the nice shirt, give me a tie, like give me nice pants, give me wingtip shoes, and I was like, let's be a gentleman, It's like let's just celebrate every kilo that I've lost. It's like now I'm looking forward to the good things in life, It's like, oh, of course I'm not in a snobby way. I'm still not buying like $200 shirts or something. It's like nowhere near that. Cheap stuff. But at least like something that looks dignified, It's like at least something where I can go out in public and go like, yeah, that looks nice, right? It's like I'm well dressed within my financial means, and I was like nothing super fancy. I also never do suit jackets. Like usually I just go a vest, close that, and have have my tie, close the vest, It's like, and then that's it. It's like it's warm enough here. I don't need any kind of jacket or so. Usually when I just go out like in a dress shirt like that, it's warm enough, even in winter. Like, don't need more. I'm running especially hot this year. It's like somehow this year, it's the weirdest thing. Every time when I start walking, I'm starting to sweat like hell. And I don't know why. It wasn't like that before. But somehow like Carnivore has interesting ways of like giving you gifts. And on that note, when I step onto the scale, I do that every Monday after a 48-hour fast. I mean, I do the intermittent fast every single day. I'm setting my fasting app to 14 hours, but most of the time it's way more. I might fast 18 hours, 23 hours, 27 sometimes. I'm just, my goal is I want at least 14. So everything that's plus, that's fine. If I'm not hungry, I don't need, have to eat yet. If I'm hungry after 14 hours, then let's eat. But at least the 14 hours is like that's my absolute minimum. But most of the time it's around 20. It's like I do OMAD. So sometimes it's then really that I'm going for 27 hours, and then the next day I might fast 15 or so, and then I go 23. Stuff like that. It's like basically keeping it very flexible, keeping my body guessing. And the thing is, like sometimes I step on the scale, and usually I see, especially like this year, I saw a lot of weight loss in terms of it could be like 1 to 1.5 kilo a week. And we're talking now mainly fat loss. It's like my stomach is disappearing. It's like kind of like a negative thing because I constantly have to buy new shirts and stuff like getting new pants. And it's like you even see need to tighten my suspenders because that damn thing always falls off. But good problem to have. I love that. And it's like, so stuff is getting too large, but it's also cost effective. The costs are not really that much desired. Because like I constantly have to change my wardrobe. It's like I buy something 3 months later. It's like, I need to buy a number smaller again or 2 numbers because like I lost so much. Just a few weeks ago, I bought new pants. And when they arrived, it's like, what? It was like stretching them is like I could even fit like that doesn't work. I need those two numbers smaller, please, right? It's like, go from a 50 to maybe to a 46 now. That sounds better. The 46 like fits better now. Let's do that. And of course, the 46 arrived, and it's like, could go down to 45 or something, right? And in 3 months it will be, let's go 44. So it's a constantly like whack-a-mole, playing whack-a-mole with your closet, right? It's like every time you get used to your clothes, then you got to buy new ones because it doesn't fit anymore. But there are weeks where the scale doesn't move. And that's the interesting thing, because like every time when that happens, I feel like my body is healing something else. Like it focuses on a different area of some kind of disease issue, like little problem that it has. So when I don't see weight loss, I'm always kind of like, what is it to trick back this time? And sometimes you don't find out until you get to that point. And that is an interesting one, because I've had an allergic reaction to mushrooms, basically since my teenage time. So my mom was cooking like a mushroom soup or so, and I came from school unexpected, or so I came home earlier. She was cooking that mushroom soup. I opened the door, smelled the mushrooms, and went straight to vomiting. When I ingested a mushroom by mistake, I barely could breathe anymore. It's like sometimes we had like we ordered a pizza or something, and they've been hiding mushrooms under the cheese. And I bit into that, and then suddenly I could not breathe. And I was like, oh my God, I was like almost close to an anaphylactic shock or whatever it is. And then I think it was last week, my wife was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, yeah, I feel fine. And she asked me that like a few times. And then like 3 days ago, like she said, it's like, you know what? For like a couple of days, I've been eating mushrooms next to you. And it's like, what? So you're telling me that carnivore healed my mushroom allergy? I mean, I still would not eat that stuff because it's a plant, but wow, I didn't expect that. And since I always avoided mushrooms, it's like, who knows when carnivore did that to me? Could have been last week, could have been last year, whatever it was, but it's wonderful. It's like, at least I can go out now and let's say going to a restaurant or so, and feel like somebody on the neighboring table could have mushrooms, and I would not have to worry about running to the bathroom to vomit or anything. It was just by smelling that, it's like, oh, mushrooms, okay? If that's your thing, you do you, my friend. But at least I don't have to deal with that consequence anymore, and that's an improvement of life, even though may it be like a small one, right? But sometimes you gotta celebrate the small victories too. So yeah, that's basically where we are. And when it comes to my current weight, I am at 116 kilo instead of 207, which equals to 255 pounds, which means I lost 201 pounds, aka 91 kilograms so far on my journey. And I'm aiming for another 30 to kind of get below 100, maybe 90 kilograms. Like that's a good. I'm shooting for 100 right now. It's like as my absolute goal milestone. And whatever else carnivore will do to me, it will do. Like I'm very open to that. If it wants me at 90, then I go to 90. If it wants me at 80, so be it. If it wants me at 75, cool. Like, do you. It is like, do to my body what you will, because you gave me my life back. I'm still alive here, and I'm, as we said, like I'm already 4 years in. So the predicted 5 years and I'll be dead is no longer like on the table, because now I feel like I might go another 20, and it's like at least maybe 30, maybe 40. It's like, if I keep eating like that, I might be 100 one day. So cool thing. And yeah, that's basically where we are now. And I probably forgot like half of all the stuff that happened to me, like in terms of positive stuff. It's like, because it's so much, like at some point I mean, what fixed, thyroid. I've completely fixed my thyroid. I didn't need any medication anymore. Blood pressure. And both of them are interesting, because the first time it was like I had to quit the blood pressure medication cold turkey, and the doctors, as I still told you, they refused. They always said like, yeah, you need to stay on that medication, you need that. And until that point when I felt that it was so low that I really had to quit them, because otherwise I would pass out. Same thing with the thyroid medication. I was like, how about we just stop the levothyroxine and see how I'm doing without them? And the doctors, no, you cannot do that. And I was like at home, you know what? Those morons already refused to take me off the blood pressure medications. I'm taking myself off the levothyroxine myself, and I will see what happens. I'm taking that risk. I'm willing to see. And then I went probably like 3 months or 4 months later, I had a blood test, and everything is fine. It's like, very cool, because I'm already off my levothyroxine. No thanks to you. And that means my thyroid is fine. Great. Thank you very much for that information. Just print me my blood test results and see you at some point, doctor. I don't care what you have to say. Give me my results. I look into that myself. It's like, I don't need you for any medical advice. Unless I'm cutting myself or breaking a bone, it's like I'm not asking the doctors to fix anything for me anymore, because every single time when I went to the doctor, like, they cured nothing. Absolutely nothing. All I got was medication, and I got worse and worse and worse. Like, it's literally almost like the association. Or if it didn't get worse, then it kept me kind of in that same state. It's like as if you're trapped in limbo. So nothing these doctors did had any good impact on me. So no more trust. Absolutely gone. I'm going to have like another blood test scheduled next month. And then again, it's like, doctor, please print the results out for me. I'm taking those home, and I will look into that myself. I know my cholesterol is high, but everything else looks pretty solid to me. So I don't need the statin talk. It's like the last time, it was like the last doctor wanted to put me on a statin. It was like, no. It's like, why? Because no. It's like, I didn't even want to debate the doctor. I mean, it's not their fault. It's like they're following guidelines. They probably copied that stuff from the U.S. guidelines or the U.S. medical guidelines or whatever. And it's worldwide. It's like, it doesn't matter where you go. It's like Asia, Australia, whatever. Like, you hear it yourself. Like when you listen to podcasts from other carnivores, it's like they all have the same problem. They all say the same, no matter where they're from. They could live in Malaysia or something, or in Africa. The same thing going on. Like every more civilized area that has like a healthcare system, they have kind of the same guidelines. Like some more flexible than others. But the core idea is the same. It's like, you get sick, you take medicine, and we keep you on that medicine for as long as possible. And in order for you to need that medicine, we have food for you. Keep eating the carbs. And that's like when they sent me to the dietitian. Just eat like a lot of carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, and make sure that your meat will never be bigger than the size of your palm. It's like, that's the maximum amount of meat that you should eat. And I was like, mm-hmm. Or was it the size of my fist? And I'm thinking like, don't tempt me. It's like, please don't tempt me. I mean, at least that's what I'm thinking now, because like your advice would have made everything worse, and I didn't listen to the dietitian. I didn't. Already, they gave me that little brochure home, like, to see how much I could have of what, and I was like, I mean, that was right before we started the keto diet. It's like we had that checkup on those scales that measure your body composition. It's like how much muscle, how much water weight, bone density, or whatever else these things measure in their high tech stuff. And then talking to that dietitian, and was like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like most of that stuff that they tell us we are doing, except for I have more meat. But at the same time, it's like I cannot see myself doing that. It's like, that doesn't seem right to me. It's like gut feeling, It's like other than hunger, it felt weird. That's what was usually my gut feeling, hunger. Like, but now that was like, nah, that doesn't sound like right at all. Of course, I stayed polite and was like, "Yeah, thank you, doctor, and see you next time. Thank you for taking the time." And I walked out of there, and we took that thing home, but I was close to already toss it into the trash by the moment walking out there, you know. And then then I at least found keto for that 1 month, and just quit that because I didn't like the fruit, the vegetables. We even tried a lot of fruits, you know. It's like like before that, you know. It's like I eat healthy, you know. Have oatmeal, have milk, you know. It's like have bananas, have apples. Of course, and I had a pack of 6 apples, and I ate 6 apples. I had like 5 bananas. I ate 5 bananas. Yeah, healthy, you know. Like drink orange juice. How about 2 liters gone in one go? You know, like just down that stuff. You know, like you need healthy stuff, right? It absolutely made everything worse. Nothing worked in that regard. And the only thing like where I really saw the improvement was first keto and then carnivore, which was in one video it was explained as carnivore is keto on steroids. And I was like, I like that, the sound of that. Let's do that. Like take away the stuff that I don't like, add more of what I like, and then that's then keto on steroids. Cool, let's do that. I'm all for it, and it worked so wonderfully. It's like it changed my life. It saved my life. I mean, seriously, it's like I couldn't be more grateful for this diet.
Wow, Casey. You know, well, first thing I just want to mention, I agree with you. You know about the going to the doctor is. If you break your bone, I'll probably go to the doctor also for that same reason. But for other things,
Yeah.
probably I won't go to the doctor. And, you know, when it comes to the universal guidelines, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing like worldwide, you know,
Yeah.
with the medical, with a medical practice. But I do want to say, like, you know, your journey is quite incredible because, you know, it's not luck, you know, it's because you're consistent.
It's hard evidence.
Yeah, it's a mix of resilience. There's a lot of commitment there, and you know you didn't just give up. Like you said, you took your life back. You took your life back, which is really awesome. You know, I'm really curious about this because before carnivore, like I feel like with all the health issues you've gone to, like you have extreme edema, you have the HS, you have asthma, there's so much more back pain. There's so many things to like list. Like, what was your motivation in life in general? You know, because I can relate. You know, some with the eczema, with the skin issues, like those things. But like yours is like much like beyond next level. What was your motivation before carnivore? Like, did it feel like you just had to push motivation in general, or did you like have like something specific? You mentioned about like the 5 years you might die, like, you know, in the next 5 years. Was that
I think it was love. It was love. I love my wife, and I didn't want her to be a widow. I wanted to be there and healthy for her. I want to be around. You know, it's like, and now that the erectile dysfunction is fixed as well, she's very happy. You know, like if we gentlemen may say so. Like she's very appreciative of that fact too. No, but overall, it's literally love. It's kind of like almost like a second honeymoon for us. You know, it's like we have so much to catch up on. Like not just intimacy. It's like, of course, fun in the bedroom, all nice and good. But in general, it's like we could never really go out and just go like shopping around. Just walking through the city at night or something and look at the beautiful lights and the skyscrapers and all that. It's like when you live in like one of those massive cities, the city lights are so beautiful. And we could never do that. And now we can. It's like just about a week ago or so, we went to a park and it was so absolutely breathtaking. You know, it's like just having the scenery and we just took like 100 pictures or so, just, hey, how about take a picture of me here and there, and it was like, and then how take a picture of you, and we were just like walking like through that beautiful park, visited like an insect museum where they had like an exhibition of the local insects, some of them like 40 to 1, it's like where they increase the size, and that you can imagine what these things look like when you would magnify them. And it was like, wow, like butterflies that size, so you think like, oh my God, they're so pretty. It's like, and it was free too, it's like the entire park plus this kind of exhibition. Like everything was free, and we could go to like an outlook place and have a look over the river and all that. It was like, it was so stunning, and that was stuff that we were never able to do because how was I supposed to even survive that on crutches? Even when I got better to the point where I could walk with the cane, I would have not been able to make a trip like that. I mean, sure, I still at some point, like I'm still sweating a lot in that climate. It's like my body is just not made for heat and humidity. But at the same time, it's like at least I'm able. And if it gets too extreme, it's like when I feel like I'm kind of almost melting away, then I just have to sit down for like 2 minutes or so before we continue. Just take a quick breather. Like wipe my forehead, it's like I always have like some bandana or like small towel with me or so, like just to like wipe myself kind of dry again, and then like 2 minutes later it's like, yeah, come on, let's go another 100 steps or like another 500 meters, whatever it may be. It's like, and then we just take like step by step, it's like. I noticed like the colder it is, the more I can walk. Like if it's 15 degrees outside, it's like I can do like walk half an hour back and forth without sitting down once. I need the breaks when it's getting warmer. It's like I really literally feel that. It's like then I kind of feel that it's kind of like something's pressuring me, like something is sitting on my shoulders, and it's like, oh, maybe you should sit down. But as I said, like when it's getting colder, then I have so much more endurance too. Like I can withstand like cold temperatures way better than warm. I always say I'd rather like wear like 3 jackets instead of sweating while I'm naked. That's my philosophy. It's like I don't like the sun. I mean, I like the sun as long as it's not warm. It's like sunshine, beautiful. It's like, but don't cook me. It's like in that regard. It's like I'm a night owl. I really love to be out at night. It's like even when I'm taking my walks now, it's still about 20 right now it's 23 degrees Celsius here. When I go on my walks, I go out at night. I wait until 2 a.m. and then I do my walk half an hour back and forth. And then I come home and then kind of get ready for the night. It's like I like the dark, but at the same time I'm only sleeping like 4 or 5 hours, like most of the time. It's like many carnivores will tell you the same thing. Like you don't need as much sleep anymore, but at the same time you feel like very recovered despite just a few hours. I remember like before starting carnivore. When I had 4 hours of sleep, I was like a zombie. It's like I basically the thing is like when something woke me up, I could not fall back asleep. It's like when like something fell over or so, made a loud banging noise, and I was asleep. And then I woke up. Even if it's 2 hours, I could not sleep anymore. Like the moment you woke me, I was done. And then I sat like all day, like. Oh, what? Like no matter if I'm watching a movie or like on at the dinner table or anything, it's like I was always this like, oh my God. And now I'm sleeping 4 hours. Like I wake up in the morning, go like, oh, okay, I'm still back pain. Interesting. Like with that back pain, I had another flare up this year. Even went to the hospital for 1 day, but I walked there this time, not with the stretcher, but it was the same thing, like as back in 2017. Like it was the same area, the same kind of pain, the same medication they gave me too. And now the diagnosis is spondylosis and bone spurs. So in other words, like those bone spurs seem to press against the nerve, which kind of radiates that pain. And like it seems to be something I don't really have control over. And I can basically improve that a little with physiotherapy, keeping active. That's why I'm also try to walk every single day. But those spinal spurs or whatever they called it, they seem to pinch on one nerve, and that radiates right into that kidney area. So it might be still the muscle instead of the kidney itself. But it's kind of like this thing, and that's where this pain is coming from. So at least now I know that. And with the spondylosis, that they say like it's the deterioration of the spine due to aging. If I can believe the doctors, I'm not sure about that. It's like, but at least that's what they say. They say that that's because I'm getting older, and they see that happening more when people get older. So it seems to be something that is not uncommon. Yeah, but trying to, it's like having my 4 or 5 hours of sleep per night is usually enough for me. Every now and then I sleep for 7 and go like, whoa, surprise. It's like, but fine with me. It's like if I sleep a few hours every now and then, my body needed it. It's like if not, then I wake up after 4 or 5 hours and I'm ready to go. And so there's also no problem in that regard anymore. Other than that, I mean, the back pain is my main bane when it comes to discomfort. And of course, I want to lose another 30 kilo of weight if possible. It's like just keep going. I mean, I don't have to do anything anyway. It's like I just need to stay on carnivore and keep going, and it will do whatever it does. It's like it does what it's supposed to. My body will probably appreciate that as long as I keep going with that. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's really awesome. I feel like I'm more motivated to continue this carnivore journey also, just listening to your story, because there's so much improvement on your end, especially not needing crutches anymore to walk around. I feel like that's a big thing.
Very early.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of the crutches, that was probably within the first half year, like the first 6 months or so, and the crutches were gone, except for when I needed longer distances. I remember when we moved here into this flat, I just to be safe, I took my cane with me, but that's more because I cannot really stand for very long. It's like I can walk for 30 minutes. But standing for 10 minutes is a challenge. Like if I just stand still on one spot, then my back tightens up, and it's probably that nerve is pressing instead of being in motion. So the standing is still a challenge, and I'm hoping that Carnivore will fix that one day too. But we will see. Who knows? Let's be hopeful, right? Kind of let's wait
exactly.
for one of those.
I relate a lot to.
I was about to say, let's wait for one of those weeks where I don't see weight loss. Then secretly will heal that too.
Right. Right. I mean, I relate a lot to what you were saying, about the 4 to 5 hours sleep, and then you feel completely rejuvenated. I slept this much hours, but normally before Carnivore, I don't feel this same way. And then now, with Carnivore, rejuvenated, just a couple of hours of sleep. I mean, to me, that sounds impossible. But when you're in Carnivore, it's not impossible at all.
It's strange. It's really strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Casey, looking back at your carnivore journey now, I guess most likely in the beginning, did you had any mistake or you should have done something before jumping into carnivore? Because I know you mentioned you've done keto first and then pretty much become carnivore, like next level of keto, right? Like, and become carnivore. Like, did you ever had like a moment of doubt this might worsen things, or yeah?
I think like my biggest mistake was like I think it was the second year when I started to have cheat meals once a week. So I basically did carnivore super strict for the entire week, and then on a Sunday or so I would have a pizza, where we just said like that will be the one day where I have some carbs, and I mean. At the same time, I still kept losing weight, at a slower rate. Things got better, but I kind of wonder sometimes, like how much more success would I have seen if I would not have done that. I think at year 2 it was more like that was for my mental health. It's like I wanted to stick to that diet, but somehow I kind of needed that connection, because pizza is my favorite food. I know that question would come up. Pizza was always my favorite. And this kind of like was like mentally soothing. And when I had that pizza, I was like, yeah, now I can go for another week. Let's do that. And keep going. But of course, it kicked me out of ketosis probably for 3-4 days or so. And then I had the ketosis only like a couple of days until the next time. So I would say, like, if you really want to see that as a mistake, yes, that was one for sure. Other mistakes. I think it's really hard to say, because like what are like how much can you like determine that something is a mistake when things are still improving? It's like, sure, you could beat yourself up. It's like, oh my god, I had a glass of alcohol during Christmas. I had a glass of alcohol during New Year's on my birthday. Like those are actually 3 days a year where I do drink, like Christmas, New Year, birthday. All of them are within 2 weeks, right? So that's like my 2 weeks. And I actually, like honestly must say, like for those 2 weeks, I am not carnivore. It's like the moment Christmas hits, I allow myself to have whatever I want. If I want 500 Snickers, I will have 500 Snickers. I don't care. And I also do that to kind of look at how my body responds to things. And the interesting thing I noticed is, like, when I do that, I don't get the aches and pains. Like my body seems to be super calm with that. It's like my digestion improves even more. It's like my digestion on carnivore is horrible. It's like I'm literally living with diarrhea for 4 years. The only two weeks I don't have diarrhea is when I'm on carbs. But I'm paying that price willingly because, like, everything else improves. It's like I don't care. But during those 2 weeks, I'm really like I'm just enjoying life. If I want to have a donut, if I want to have if I want to go out with my wife and have like something in a restaurant or so, I don't care. Let's go McDonald's. It's like whatever it may be. It can be the absolute most horrible thing. And I do that deliberately. I know that I'm basically cheating myself, but I'm doing it deliberately. And the thing is, I would not recommend that to anyone who is not able to get back onto carnivore. Like, if you set yourself a goal, because for me it is like, once those 2 weeks are over, that is the start of the next carnivore, and I never fail that. Like, Christmas comes, I jump off the wagon. And then the 2 weeks are over, and I'm strict back for the rest of the year. And there's no fail. It's like there are no extra days, no cheat days in between. It's like those 2 weeks are mine, where I basically just enjoy freedom, variety. Like, I can go out with other people. It's like socialize. I don't do that when I'm on carnivore. It's like I never go out eating. I don't go to restaurants because seed oils and all that. It's like I avoid that. But I feel like during those holidays, this is for me like a mental reset. It's like I'm having everything that I know is bad, and I enjoy the flavors, but at the same time I also see some of the negative effects. But I never have like gut issues. Like I don't have pain. no, like my HS usually does not get worse, or so I don't get like brutal rashes anymore, or something like that. So that is kind of like kind of a sense of false security, because like it suggests to me that everything that I'm experiencing has to do with weight loss. Because when everything feels fine when I eat carbs, the only thing that changes is my weight. And I know that the heavier I get, the more problems I will develop or return. And that was interesting. Like this Christmas, like I did those 2 weeks as I usually do on Carnivore, and I saw an increase of 13 kilograms in just 2 weeks. Like 13 kilograms at once. I weighed myself before, and I knew that I would weigh myself then at the very end of that 2 weeks to measure. Because like same thing. Ever since I started this keto thing, I'm weighing everything. It's like everything is calculated. I have my 196 gram of protein. I have my 219 gram of fat. Carbs below 20, and that is religion. It's like that is the law. And like if something is weird, I can like if I feel weird, if something hurts or so, then I can always look back. What did I eat on that day? How much of that did I eat on that day? If I want to change something, it's like, do I want a different ratio of between fat and protein? I can look at that and go like, okay, this is now like a 70-30, but I want to do an 18-20 or so, and then I can do the calculation based on the numbers I have. It's like it's absolute. And by now, like at some point, you have the app trained so much with all the foods that you have that you just go copy from yesterday, done, logged. It's like once you have everything logged, and on Carnivore, I don't have much variety. It's like I have my. Oh, let's see. Like once I break my fast, I usually start like at least the last few days. I start with 5 eggs. I have half a pack of bacon. Like the last few days, we started having chicken. Do I even have anything else? I mean, the only thing that really changes is sometimes the way it's like made. It's like sometimes I have scrambled eggs. Sometimes, most of the time, I like hard-boiled eggs because I really love to eat the egg yolk when it's that amazing ball. It's like love that flavor. It's like one of the best things ever. It's like egg white. I eat that because protein, but the taste, not my thing. But the egg yolk, as that little ball, amazing. Love it. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. But of course, I need to see that I hit my macros. And of course, I have butter. I have loads of butter. Today, I had 150 gram of butter because I had chicken. Chicken is lean, so I eat butter pure. Right? It's like I have an extra plate with butter, and sometimes like I may have like a piece of chicken with the butter on top, or I eat a chicken by itself and then eat the butter pure at the end. Fine with me. It's like I need to get my fats in, and I don't care if it tastes good or not. No, it doesn't matter. I do fish a lot, like every like that. That's because I need to make sure that I can stay within a limited budget. So I cannot afford steak all the time. Steak usually like when it's absolutely on sale, one day before expiry date or something, right? It's like, or like when they put that on sale because it needs to be like sold on that day, otherwise it would be thrown away. It's like, yo, it's 70% off mine, right? It's like, that's when I have steak or ground beef or something. Like, oh, of course, I would love to be lion diet, but I cannot afford that. I need to go with sort of like the absolute cheapest offers. A lot of eggs, a lot of butter. Of course, the cheapest butter they have, and I know everything could be better. The eggs could be better quality. The chicken or pork is not great in terms of nutritional profile and high in omega-6 and all that. I know. The thing is, like, I need to work with what I can. When I can afford beef, then I will have beef whenever I can. And also must say I feel the difference, like especially during my walks. When I had beef, I have more endurance than when I ate some chicken or pork. Despite all the butter, like usually you think like the energy is all the butter, but it doesn't seem to be the case, because like also the meat seems to make a difference. On the other hand, I'm thinking like fish is not a bad idea, because omega-3s, to balance out the omega-6s. It's like when I have pork and chicken a lot, then maybe I should have a lot of fish to have a lot of omega-3s, so that the omega-6 and 3 ratio is a bit more balanced out. And I'm still keeping the fat high. It's like still weighing and measuring the butter. When I have like fish, then the ratio of butter, like the amount of butter I need, is different than when I have chicken wings, because chicken wings are way higher in fat, so I don't need 150 gram of butter. It's like 75 gram. It's like, and that's why I love to track everything. It's like, how much is in each food, and how much do I need to adjust? It's like, do I need more protein? It's like, then how about we add 2 eggs? It can be 7 eggs. I even did like one day where I wanted to test like if I can meet my macros with just eggs, and I ate 28 eggs at once. It's like I literally scrambled 28 eggs in one portion, and had this massive bowl of just eggs. And I was almost dying at the end because I felt so full. It's like, oh my God. And I mean, I'm doing OMAD, right? It's like I'm eating once a day, so it needs to go to hatch now, not later. It's like I don't do 2 meals a day or so. It's like I'm eating all at once. And I made that a challenge. I only did that once. I mean, it was fun, It's like I kind of documented that. It's like even made like a little video showing took pictures and showing myself the preparation. It's like, this is the amount of eggs. This is the amount of butter I need. But that was absolutely incredible. It's like, oh, wow. It was difficult to eat that many eggs. It's like, yes, you could eat very cheap, but it's a challenge for your stomach if you can eat that much. I think the only person on earth who can eat that much is Bella, the steak and butter girl, because everybody else would feel like, oh my God, my stomach is exploding. But she can pack away 5 kilos of meat if she needs to, right? It's like, if you ever saw her eating, oh my God, wow, like that girl can eat. Holy crap. Like, it's amazing. I cannot even imagine how she gets all that meat into her stomach. It's like, how, especially because she's also so slender. It's like, she's this tiny person. It's like, where does that meat go? It's like, I'm massive and I struggle with
right?
Yeah,
right.
I'm super tall and still quite wide. And it's like, I cannot eat that much. And it's like 28 eggs was my absolute maximum capacity. It's but so much fun, It's like I kind of love the carnivore community, and it's like just seeing like all the different approaches and all. It's like you have Bella, the steak and butter girl. Then you have Ken Berry, who just like shoots it to you straight. Then you have Anthony Chafee, who has so much knowledge out of his head. Like, look at him during live streams. Somebody asks him a question, and he goes like, "Yeah, there was a study done in 1973 by a doctor so and so. The numbers were like what? It's like, what? How do you remember that? How many times did you read that? It's like photographic memory or something. It's like, it's absolutely fascinating. And then you have like Dave Mack, it's like now yourself too. It's like you're joining the group of carnivore influencers, or whatever you want to call that. It's like maybe saviors, because there are a lot of people out there who need saving. And that's why your work and Dave's work are just as important as the doctors, because people need to see real people, hear real stories. And of course, we're not perfect. It's like, as I said, I jump off the carnivore wagon for 2 weeks a year. I'm not perfect. I know that. Nobody is perfect. It's like, show me one person who's absolutely flawless. It's like, even Chafee said, like, every now and then he had a coffee and then regretted it because he got sore after his workout. Otherwise, he would say, like, coffee is not carnivore. Coffee contains cyanide, doesn't belong in your body. It's like, still he had coffee, right? Like, he's not perfect either. Like none of us are, and we need to be able to give ourselves some grace every now and then. We should not beat ourselves up if we fall off the wagon, or when we have like that one social gathering, like with family and friends or whatever, and then go like, is it really that bad that we cheated on our diet? Or like, if you even want to cheat it, call it a cheat, once a year, when you're eating like 360 days, even like just pure carnivore. What are 3 days compared to that? If you fall off the wagon, you just get back on. It's like the next day you can decide to do carnivore again, just like I'm deciding after those 2 weeks. That is the day when carnivore starts. And by that time, I make sure that every carb is destroyed in my household, usually ending up in my stomach. But that is the day when we only buy meat and eggs and butter. It's like there is nothing else in the fridge, It's like, and then there is no. I could cheat on that because it's so interesting. I'm a very addictive personality, but I don't seem to have a carbohydrate addiction, despite like eating, being able to eat carbs like crazy. Once I go carnivore, like let's say January 5th, it's like I'm already like a few days back on carnivore. You could place like a Snickers or a Mars bar in front of me, and I would go like, why do you decorate my table with this weird thing? Like it's in my way. Like move it aside. But it's not like, oh my god, I want to eat that. It's like during Christmas, I would instantly reach for that. I would eat it. But the moment I made that switch in my head that I'm back on carnivore. You could put it right in front of me. You can eat it next to me. It's like, I don't care. It's like, doesn't faze me. It's like, I'm just like in that carnivore mindset the moment I set my mind to that. And that's interesting because I cannot do that with anything else in my life. It's like, it's only this diet. Because I know how much like this diet benefits me, because like I experienced that on my own body. It's like I don't care what anyone else says. It's like they can tell me 100 of times, yeah, your cholesterol is bad. You will die of a heart attack. It's like you die of scurvy or so. It's like, yeah, after 4 years, are you sure? It's like it's like I may cheat with an orange or so during that Christmas time, so I can have some fructose with vitamin C in it, or a kiwi or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's then I might have some vitamin C. But how do you explain the rest of the year? It's like, why do I not develop scurvy? It's like, if I look at my fingernails, they're there. It's like, okay, I shave my hair deliberately, but I'm still having a beard, and it's like I'm not losing that either. I don't get albino red eyes, it's like, I don't really understand like how people cannot acknowledge success when they see it. I think that is one of the most difficult things on carnivore. Like, you experience all these things. You are living proof. You can stand there like in front of your family. It's like in my family we have type 2 diabetes, we have arthritis, like we have a stroke, we have cancer, like at the same time, and I go like, hey, everybody, listen to me, look at me. It's like, it works. I've been doing that. My A1C went from 5.7 to 5.2 in like less than like a few weeks. Yeah, that's interesting. It's like, oh, great answer. I love that answer, because there are 3 answers or 3 responses to like suggesting carnivore I hate. Number 1, that's interesting. Number 2 is like, I could never do that. And number 3, it's great that it works for you. Absolutely despise those 3. It's like, are you a different species? Are you an alien from Mars or something, right? That you have like a totally different digestive tract than I have. And if that only works for me, then how do you explain those million others who are healing on carnivore? Like, how do you explain the people who are keeping like cancer at bay? Healing multiple sclerosis, it's like those MS videos you see sometimes on some podcasts. It's mind-blowing. And you think like, type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, that's a walk in the park for the carnivore diet. That's like the morning routine. This diet has so much more power and can heal things way beyond that. And then you have type 2 diabetics who are killing themselves in the gym for years on metformin, and they go like, oh, I could never eat pure butter. But at the same time, they're stuffing medications into their face. And you just go like, why don't you just reverse that? It might take you 3 months. And you see people suffer, and none of them seems to be willing to hop on, at least not the ones you know, and the ones you're in contact with. Yeah, it's great that it works for you. And you think like, what? I don't know what to say. I'm living proof. I can show you all the numbers. I've logged everything. I've documented every single thing. I can tell you exactly when my numbers changed and how they changed. I can show you the evidence. I mean, at least I would only show that like medical records to my friends I know personally, but not some randos on the internet, because that's none of their business. But it's like you cannot help some of these people, and then you think like, how much worse does it need to get until you even consider it? I think there's so much brainwash going on still. It's like they've been brainwashed for decades. And no matter what you say, no matter how much like your results are like showing otherwise, they still believe that meat is unhealthy, that the fruits and vegetables are the absolute best thing that you can ingest. You should stay away from fat, and especially butter. And if you cook, then only with healthy fats, and it's like, which is already disproven for so many years, that margarine or so like increases your risk of heart attack. They did that like in when was that, 1930s also, with the coronary Minnesota heart study or whatever it was called, that the people on margarine had more heart attacks than those with real butter, and they buried that entire study until 2017 or whenever it was. Until somebody like dug out the records from some basement, and then asking like, why was that never published? And because we didn't like the results. Oh, very scientific. Thank you very much. Maybe the public should have known about that. It's like, maybe you should have been honest about it. What about Ansel Keys? Doing his 7-country study, instead of like showing all the countries that he involved. So to prove that he proves nothing. But no, he picked only the 7 ones that kind of aligned with his ideology. It's like so many lies, and you don't know how you can like get through that noise and help the people you love, because they will not listen.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very hard position for us carnivores.
Yeah.
I do fully agree with the list you gave about how people respond to carnivore. Like one of them saying like, "Oh, I'm glad you found something that works for you." I feel like people say this to end conversations because they don't want to hear it anymore, so they just want to like hush it, right? But yeah. Casey, I feel like you covered so much with your story. I've even found out about your favorite food before carnivore, and also a walkthrough, what you usually
And I told you, I came prepared.
Yeah, you did. I'm actually very grateful for that. Casey, if you had to describe the impact of carnivore in your life, what one word would you describe it, and tell me why?
Life-saving, because it literally saved my life. It's like, I cannot even imagine, like, even if I would still be alive without the carnivore diet, in what state would I be? Like, how much pain would I have? How many abscesses would I get per day or per week? Like, would I have to suffer in a hospital bed right now? It's like, I don't have to do any of that. I mean, sure, I still have back pain or so, but I can go on a walk for 30 minutes every night. I'm able to do that. I don't need my crutches. I don't need to use my cane. I can literally like walk and do those like my midnight walks or whatever you want to call them. It's like having that freedom. It's like I'm able to have a wonderful time with my wife again. Like sexually, not sexually, it doesn't matter. It's like just being together as a couple and just enjoying life together. Like after we could not have that. So life saving, life altering, whatever you want to call that. So like it's absolutely it flips everything 180 degree. That would be my answer. Life saving.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Many people, like when they jump on to a different diets, right? Like other than American standard diet or something else, maybe like vegan or maybe Mediterranean, like some people would just like jump on it maybe like for 2 weeks. If you can give an advice to someone who wants to try carnivore, but super skeptical, they think they're going to get a heart attack or other health issue, but they see your improvement, and you've been on this for 4 years. What is the most likely thing you would tell them?
I think the best approach is to watch videos made by doctors. But there is a caveat. Only watch the doctors who are doing it themselves. Like the Chafee, Dr. Berry, Dr. Philip Ovadia. If you are worried about your heart, watch Dr. Ovadia. If you're worried about the brain, watch Dr. Chafee. If you're worried about family medicine, watch Dr. Berry. Like, do the doctors who are walking the walk and talking the talk instead of listening to a doctor who's going like, yeah, but that increases your LDL in a bad way, and they've never done carnivore. They don't even know what it feels like. They have no idea what they're talking about, and all they go by is a number. You need somebody who is literally doing it themselves. You need somebody with credibility. Look at people who are doing it and listen to those, because everybody can have an opinion. I can have an opinion about the taste of astronaut food, and I can say it's probably absolutely horrible. But I've never tried it. I can still say, that stuff is so crappy and it's super unhealthy. But what credibility do I have? I was never in outer space, and I don't know what bread in a squeeze pack tastes like. Right? It's like, how would I know? It's like, and if these doctors are not willing to try that diet themselves, then maybe they should have the credibility to give advice on it. But there are so many doctors who are actually doing it, and they see incredible results. I mean, look at Ken Berry after having his stomach issues, his weight loss success, and all that mental focus. Like when he said he was that fat doctor who had to steal the medicine samples because he had so much acid reflux or something like that, right? It's like he literally took the free meds away from the patients, for himself. And then telling them, eat less and move more, and while he himself was extremely overweight, and then having the balls to go on record, on YouTube, on the internet, and say to all my patients, I have done you wrong, and I'm so sorry. I apologize. I made a mistake. I was telling you shit. None of that what I told you made sense. And just accusing you of ignoring my advice. I know you didn't ignore that, because I tried my own medicine and it didn't work on me either. It's like somebody who has the charisma just to go out there and apologize to his patients. That is a doctor. You don't need one of those people where the ego is bigger than the Mount Everest. Just because they have a doctor title doesn't mean anything. You need to have a doctor who cares about helping their patients and is willing to learn when new information comes out. Just because you learned something 20 years ago, I mean, think about it, maybe 100, 200 years ago, when you had epilepsy or so, they would have given you a lobotomy. Just because, you're going crazy. It's you're possessed by a demon. How about an exorcism or something? there is new information. Now we know epilepsy is a disease. It's like the medical system had to acknowledge that. And maybe there are other things to acknowledge, like that we believe now that are absolutely false. Dietary advice would be number one on my list, personally. Like, because if you would fix that diet, imagine if carnivore would be standard of care. Whatever problem you have, and somebody goes to the doctor would say, "Yeah, start a carnivore diet." If the patient doesn't do it, that's on them. But at least the doctor gave them the way. And imagine how many people would heal just by that. It's like, no matter if it's diabetes or so some skin issues, so like in your case, losing weight, like in my case, or asthma or whatever. It's like, if that would be the first thing, it's like you go to the doctor says like, yeah, you need to be on a carnivore diet for at least 90 days. How many issues would be resolved? How much cheaper would the medical system be? How much more angry would the pharmaceutical companies be? So really the answer is listen to those who walk the walk before you, and then fill their footsteps.
Yeah, I really like your advice because the grounded approach of like listen to those, like you said, like you just said right now, listen to those who walk the walk, do the talk, because they're the one who knows how it actually is. And a lot of people can have different opinions, but they never did the walk, they only do the talk. So yeah,
I mean, even within the carnivore space, we have different opinions. It's like some people go like, you need to be strict lion diet, otherwise it's not carnivore at all. Other people go like, oh, let me include some honey, like Paul Saladino. Doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would I add sugar to my system? It's like, because honey is sugar too. But there are so many different ways. Like people do carnivore. Some do like a 70-30. Some do 80-20. Some love to double up on their fat. The other go strict lion diet. Others take the approach with mostly fish only or something. Like I've seen so many things during the years. And I mean, like 4 years ago when I started, there were so little carnivore information out there. Ken Berry was out there. I'm not even sure if Chafee had his channel already, or at least it was not suggested to me at that time. But it was more like this idea of we have Dr. Berry, we have Jason Fung, we have Stan Ekberg, and we have Dr. Berg. Like those were like the four. And we had here John Baker. Here those were the ones that like when I started, those were the ones in the focus. Within the carnivore space. And now we have like Dr. Lisa Wiedemann here for the eyes. We have Dr. Philip Ovadia for the heart. And it's like there are, we had Jason Fung, not carnivore, but fasting, and he's nephrologist, so he takes care of the kidneys. So like there is so much in that space going on. And everybody will find what they need if they just find the right doctor to find the right advice for their specific situation.
That's awesome. Yeah. Casey, my last question to you is regarding the future outlook. You mentioned about the carnivore study. I mean, not the carnivore study, the margarine study, like back in the 1930s. How do you see carnivore now, like, in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see it being in the bad light or in a good light? Bad light meaning like with that study, maybe a censorship, falsifying information, covering, or meat prices going high. And then at the same time, good side, more people healing, wanting to learn. What are your thoughts?
I think, especially when it comes to the misinformation, that is what we've been seeing like all those years already. People tell you that a high LDL leads to a heart attack, that eating saturated fat is bad, like that you should limit your meat. It's like that false information has been out there like since hundreds of years already. Like let's say decades, hundreds of years is exaggerated. It's more like a figure of speech. But I can see that carnivore is catching up. Like we see so many people like jumping on board of that, who go like, I feel sick, and I see all those testimonies and people healing. So there are more people embracing that kind of lifestyle. But at the same time, I also worry that especially the big pharma and big food industries will not take that like by lying down. They will fight back with whatever they can once our movement becomes too massive. Like right now, I heard numbers like we are 1 million to 1.2 million carnivores worldwide. And that's still a small amount. But imagine what happens if that's 5 million. And like even every single one of us hurts their financial bottom line. Because we don't buy the crap food. We don't buy the sugars every day. Like we don't have the most important meal of the day, Kellogg's breakfast, Kellogg's Crunchy Nut or Frosties or whatever. Like we don't buy the oatmeal. We don't buy like all the sweets. We don't go out to McDonald's every single day anymore. It's like all these companies are losing hundreds of dollars just because one carnivore decides I'm not going there anymore. Or let it even be somebody on keto, because like we just come on top of that. We are a subset, you know. It's like keto, carnivore. We are one family. Low carb, like all of those keto. Like that's already 4 subsets that decide that the carbohydrates are kind of the problem. And all of those are growing in popularity. Like keto was already huge. Now it's probably time for carnivore to like get that spotlight too. And maybe it will not be as massive as keto was, because like with keto you still could justify it's like, yeah, well, I may have like a lot of fat, but at the same time I have like leafy greens and I can eat as much spinach as I want and have as many kidney stones as I want as well. But that just on a side note. But the carnivore thing is more extreme. Like yes, you see way more healing because you go way more extreme, but most people will probably be taken aback. And like if they have the choice and are kind of like unsure, they might start at keto and maybe stay with keto. And it's like instead of making that leap of faith unless there is a good reason. Or they're really brave. And like you sometimes see like young people go like, yeah, I'm a carnivore, sounds crazy, let's try it. It's like, sure, like if you have that kind of mindset, then sure, then you will have some more people who are carnivore. But then let's imagine somebody with type 2 diabetes who is 60 years old or so. They might look at that and go like, I cannot like lower my A1C with ketovore and carnivore. But my entire life I had like my leafy greens, and I love spinach or kale or whatever they might love, sauerkraut, you know, some fermented cabbage or whatever, right? They might look at that and go like, carnivore is too extreme for me, and I will just do keto because like I can still have some of that what I've always had, unless things become too intense, you know, in terms of like health decline. You know, it's like when they see that keto is not enough to help. Like if they see improvements, but not enough to feel good on it, which we also sometimes see. Like some people go like 20 grams of carbs is too much for me. Like Ken Berry says, like he needs to be 10 or below. Like otherwise, like he doesn't feel right. I think that there was a young man on your channel who said like he has to literally go 0. Like the moment he has 1-2 carbs or so, that's already too much. He needs to really like set the bar at absolute 0. And it really depends on the person, what kind of like illnesses they need to heal from. Do they want to like, do they need to heal anything, or do they do that as a preventative measure? Like if you're just trying to prevent something, maybe you don't need to be carnivore. Like maybe keto is a good way for you, or at least ketovore. Like maybe you don't need to be lion, you know, it's like or like anything like that. Maybe you don't need to embark on sardine fasts every like now it's often, or eat organ meat or whatever. Like maybe just the classic beef, butter, bacon, eggs is totally enough for you, or maybe like you want to add like a few leafy greens in between. But it's like it doesn't always have to be carnivore, but we have one goal, and that is better health. And if you can achieve that that goal with something else, by all means. Like if you do the Mediterranean diet and you live like until you're 90, do it. Sure, all for it. If vegan would work that way, I would then also support that. The only problem is that we don't see that. It's like what we usually see is like after 6-7 years, then many vegans stop because they reach a point where they can no longer sustain the diet. And also, it's probably very expensive because like you need to supplement with all those B vitamins, creatinine, all that stuff. Keratin, probably iron. I mean, the thing is like it's also a matter of bioavailability, right? Like even if there is a lot of iron in spinach or something like that, how much of that can your body actually process? Like how much of that stuff do you need to eat to reach like your daily requirement? I always kind of think about it in a way like when you have carbohydrates and fats. When you have both, then you activate that Reynolds cycle, and both of them are kind of clashing. It's like the cell doesn't really know which one to take up, and they're kind of fighting for each other. And then like nobody really benefits because they kind of block each other out like two bouncers who are fighting themselves, and no customer wants to go like inside the establishment because these people are crazy and beating each other up. Like that looks too violent. Maybe let's stay out, right? It's kind of like what happens with like insulin resistance. It's like at some point you get that insulin resistance, and then you can no longer really process that, and fats get stored. Like your diabetes markers go up, and same thing like with like some of the vitamins, minerals or so. It's like once you, I think it was there was this graph of zinc. Like when you eat oysters, it's like there's a certain amount of zinc that you would get, like if you eat them pure. And then they showed like what happens if you eat them like with tacos or so, and there was almost no more zinc absorption just by eating a taco with the zinc, even though you ate the same amount of oysters. And that was so fascinating to me. Like even if you eat the same thing, like you don't, like your body cannot have access to that if you mix it with something else. Like in this case, like I think that they added tacos or some corn or something like that. So then you block up the zinc absorption. So what about all the other things? It's like what kind of plant would block out, let's say, vitamin C? What plant could block out magnesium? Which one like inhibits copper, potassium, molybdenum, whatever it may be, right? It's like there are so many. And like if you start eating the rainbow, then you run that danger that many of those components are blocking each other out, even though you're trying your best. It's like you read like, oh, this one is high in iron, and here we have potassium and all that, and let's put all of that on the plate. But at the same time, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot because you mix and match, and then there are all those oxalates, toxins, like absorption blockers, right? Uptake inhibitors, whatever you want to call them, phytonutrients. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, and this is not medical advice. It's like I just know that I don't like vegetables. I mean, I would lie if I say I don't like the flavor of garlic or onions or something. It's like kidney beans. It's like there are a few I do like, but do not consume because I know they're harmful for me. But it's not that I say like they're disgusting or something. It's like if you like them, if you can tolerate them, maybe not the healthiest thing to do, but if you want, it's your life, right? I've got to say that to everyone. It's like even the vegans, even if they're breaking down, it's like it's your choice. It's like there are many other people who already went that walk before you, who told their story on the internet, like in podcasts, like how horrible like a vegan experience was for them. And you have the choice to listen to that or not. You can ignore that, or you take their advice. If you want to ignore that, maybe you need to find out yourself. So that in 6, 7 years, you might be the one sitting in front of that camera and telling that the same story that somebody else already like told many years before you. But like to really finish your question, I think like the big pharma companies, they will start trying to fight back. I mean, we've already seen like back then when Saladino came out with while he was still on the strict carnivore diet, like how much they ridiculed him in some kind of TV show. It was like where other doctors went like, "Oh, you are insane! Like that doesn't make any sense." And Saladino was doing the diet himself. It's like he was absolutely almost laughed out of the room. Like they humiliated him publicly. It's like it was absolutely ridiculous to see like how these doctors started like fighting against him, just because he was doing something different, because he was saying, hey, there are benefits to that. It's like, how dare you say that? It's like, we are the gods in white. We have the medication. We have the all the knowledge, and you must have forgotten your training. Like so they will fight back. And the question is, like, how do we fight back? Because when they start increasing the meat prices, then of course the wealthy, the well-earning people of us, they will be able to just adjust that and go like, yeah, if I have to pay $50 instead of 30, fine with me, as long as I still get my good steak. But for those like me who already have to hunt like the on sale prices, right? What if those on sale prices go up? Like, what is my option then? Like, do I really need to stick to only chicken for the rest of my life because I cannot even afford ground beef? And what if the like when they start then taking away the chicken wings and making those more expensive and only leave you the low fat option, the chicken breast? I mean, I love chicken breast, right? It's like nothing wrong with it as long as you have your butter with it. But at the same time, like it limits your like possibility to really enjoy the variety. At some point, there will be a tipping point. It's like when there are enough people who demand carnivore, then the prices will become lower. And at the same time, we will probably also see now, in terms of your question regarding the future, now that your RFK has changed the food pyramid. Of course, we're still not there because they still recommend limiting saturated fats, which doesn't make any sense in a carnivore context, or like in a healthy eating way of context, because like it still implies that you should eat the rest of your other fat from seed oils or anything like that. But be it as it may, it's already a step into the right direction. And if the USA can now prove that there is a health improvement, especially like fewer diabetics, people who are curing their diabetes, fewer heart attacks, fewer strokes. Like if they can show that during, I think, the next 7 years with this new nutritional guidelines, which applies to all the hospitals, military, retirement homes and all that, everything public, schools, like if they can prove that with changing the guidelines, we improve the health of the nation, then I feel there will be more pushback towards big food, big pharma. Maybe not big pharma first, but big food first. And that would then mean big pharma will sell less because like there are people who are healthier and need less medication. So big pharma will then probably be the ones who try to like fight back. Not long ago, I heard on some podcast that now that we have this Ozempic stuff, and GLP-1s, and that there are scientists working on overriding those like hunger suppressing signals. Like they try to make foods that override Ozempic so that people still get fat despite taking Ozempic. And then probably they run back to the doctor and go like, I need a higher dose so they can sell even more of that Ozempic stuff. even though it doesn't work because like it's already like scientifically like engineered in a way that this medication doesn't work. And then they will miraculously come up with a new medication that is way better than Ozempic. And I was like, and that works again. And then the scientists will work on a way to override that again. I mean, it may sound like conspiracy theory, and as I said, I just heard that, but I believe it. Because like just look around, like what people are actually doing these days. You know, it's like what are companies willing to what length are they willing to go to save their bottom line? Like, do they care about our health, or do they just say so that they can make a commercial, right? Look at the commercials at a Super Bowl or something. You know, it's like alcohol, you know, like I still remember like that Budweiser commercial with the three frogs and a board. Why, sir? It's like what a stupid thing, you know. It's like, but they really tried everything, you know. It's like they tried with humor, they tried with. I mean, back in the 80s, sex sells, you know. It's like the girl had the smallest bikini and was like, I want to buy a beer, like. And now like that kind of nudity is no longer welcome, and now they come up with different things. And I was like, maybe you have the rap god or something holding that beer into the camera. Could be a football star or baseball player or whatever it is. Like whatever works to sell more of that stuff, and then they will just choose whoever brings them the highest bottom line.
Yeah, I feel like you know, your future outlook is very interesting, and I don't mean that, you know, just to be part of the list that we talked about, like, you know, when people are non-carnivore responding, you know, when they just say, "Oh, that's interesting," right? I meant that like it's interesting because pretty much, you know, media, big pharma, they're gonna do anything to like fight back, and I mean to put something out there. And I like how you question it, like, you know, what is the actual question? How do we fight back? And I know you mentioned about that that episode with Dr. Saladino. I remember watching that, and I feel like it triggered some memory, you know, like regarding like for the future, like how carnivore will be treated in the future. But it's really interesting. Yeah. Casey, if people want to reach out or follow you, where's the best place to connect?
I would say the easiest is just the way you found me, just via the email. You can put that into the description. And then if somebody wants to reach out and call me a kook or something, they can do that via email.
All right, that's excellent. I'm going to make sure to post your email in the description for people to reach you. Casey, thank you again for joining me. I really enjoyed listening to your story. I think it's quite a journey. It's really incredible. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And it was absolutely a lovely interview. Have a good night.